I've come to realize that nothing in life is truly meaningful unless you're willing to take risks. Nothing at all. Nelson Mandela once said that there's no real passion to be found in living small, in settling for a life that's less than the one you are fully capable of living. I'm sure through your time in school, when applying for college, choosing your major, and thinking about your future, you've been told over and over, make sure you've got something to fall back on. People always say, be safe, have a backup plan, make sure you've got something to fall back on, sweetheart. But I never really understood that idea, the thought of having something ready to fall back on. If I'm going to fall, I don't want to fall backward. I'd rather fall forward. Because at least if I fall forward, I'll be able to see what I'm about to hit. Without keeping up steady effort, you'll never reach the end. So follow what excites you, what lights that fire inside. Go after what you truly feel passionate about. Take those leaps. Don't ever be scared of failing. There's this old puzzle, an IQ test, that showed 9 dots, and you had to draw 5 straight lines through all the dots without lifting your pencil. The only way you could solve it was to go beyond the edges, to step outside the box. So don't be scared to think beyond limits. Don't be scared to mess up. Fail big. Dream big. But remember, dreams without setting goals are just empty wishes. Reggie Jackson, the famous baseball player, struck out more than 2,600 times throughout his career, more than anyone else in baseball history. But nobody talks about the strikeouts. What people remember are the home runs. Fall forward. Thomas Edison carried out 1,000 experiments that didn't work. Did you know that? I didn't until I heard it. But that 1001st experiment, that was the one that gave the world the light bulb. Fall forward. Every single time something doesn't work out, you're actually getting one step closer to making it happen. You've got to take risks. I know you've probably heard that sentence before, but let me explain why it matters so much. At some point in your life, you will fail. That's not a guess. It will happen. You'll face losses. You'll embarrass yourself. You'll be bad at things sometimes, there's no avoiding it. And I know this isn't the kind of speech you usually hear during graduation ceremonies, but I'm telling you this because it's the truth. Accept it. Because it's part of the journey. In the acting world, failure happens all the time. Early in my career, I went to an audition for a part in a Broadway musical. I thought the role was perfect for me. The only issue? I couldn't sing. So, of course, I didn't get the job. But here's the important part, I didn't give up. I didn't fall back. I left that audition and started getting ready for the next one. And the one after that. And the one after that. I prayed. And I prayed. And I prayed some more. But I kept failing. Over and over again. Still, it didn't stop me. Because, you know what they say, if you hang around the barber shop long enough, sooner or later you're going to get a haircut. Eventually, I caught my break. I did a play called Fences on Broadway. But here's the surprising part, it was staged at the same theater where, 30 years earlier, I had failed that first audition. The lesson here is that all of you sitting here today have the knowledge and the ability to succeed. But the question is, do you have the courage to fail? If you're not willing to fail, you're not even trying. Let me say that again, if you don't fail, you are not even trying. To have something you've never owned, you have to do something you've never done before. Now imagine this for a moment, you're lying on your deathbed, and around you are ghosts, the ghosts of all the dreams and ideas you never acted on. The ghosts of your unused talents. They're standing around you, frustrated and sad. They are disappointed because you were the one who could have brought them to life. But now, because you didn't, they have to follow you to the grave. So I'll ask you this question, when your time finally comes, how many ghosts will be standing around your bed? I just came back from South Africa. It's a stunning country, but there are parts of it where poverty is everywhere and people need help. But Africa isn't the only place. The Middle East needs your help. Japan needs your help. Alabama, Tennessee, Louisiana, and Philadelphia need your help. The world is crying out for help, and it needs you. Yes, you, the young generation. You are the ones the world is waiting on. I can't speak for everyone standing on this stage with me, but I know one thing for sure: I'm getting a little older, a little grayer. The world needs you, your energy, your strength, your ideas. So get out there and give everything you've got. Whether it's your time, your skills, your prayers, or your money, whatever you can give. The real question is, what will you do with what you've been given? I'm not talking about the amount of stuff you own or the money in your bank. Some of you will go into business. Some will become nurses or sociologists. Some will become spiritual leaders. Some of you have the gift of patience, others the gift of kindness. Some of you will show great love. Some will have the strength to endure hard times. Whatever your gift is, the question remains: what are you going to do with it? Now I want to leave you with one last thought about failure. Sometimes, it's the best tool you'll ever have for finding out where you're meant to go. Life is rarely, if ever, a straight and easy path. When I started college at Fordham University, I planned to be a pre-med student. I took a class called cardiac morphogenesis. I couldn't pronounce the name, couldn't understand the subject, and definitely couldn't pass the course. So I switched to pre-law. Then I tried journalism. But since I had no clear focus, my grades went their own way, straight down. My GPA dropped to 1.8. The school suggested, very politely, that I take some time off. At 20 years old, I was at the lowest point I'd ever known. I remember the exact day, March 27, 1975. I was helping my mother at her beauty shop, which she owned in Mount Vernon. There was an older lady there, well known in the community. I didn't really know her, but I noticed her in the mirror, watching me. Every time I glanced up, there she was, staring. Finally, she took off the hair dryer and said something I'll never forget. She told me, "Young man, I have a prophecy for you, a spiritual prophecy. You will travel the world and speak to millions of people." And over the years, just like she said, that's exactly what happened. I've traveled the globe, and through my films, I've spoken to millions. For years, they couldn't see me, and I couldn't see them, but the message was still reaching them. And now I look at you, the young faces of today, and I feel hopeful. You give me strength, you give me confidence for the future. Taking risks isn't only about going after a career. It's also about being brave enough to admit what you know and what you don't know. It's about being open to new ideas, open to different people. The chances you take, the relationships you build, the people you love, and the faith you hold on to, these are the things that will shape your life. Never let fear stop you. Never hold back. Give all you've got. And when you do fall, because at some point you will, always remember this: fall forward.